if we were to do something, should we suggest that we stop using fossil fuels? Well, it's not really likely that globally people will stop using fossil fuels because 85% of the world's energy needs are supplied by fossil fuels, either in the form of gasoline and oil in cars and trucks, or natural gas burning to heat homes, or coal-fired power plants. So it's all this combustion that's giving the heat that is driving the world's energy needs. So the other problem is that there's a lot of uncertainty in the models, as we talked about last time, and so that complicates setting policy such as these countries have to cut their fossil fuel burning in half or whatever in 20 years, whatever the rule may be that the policymakers, the government officials decide. So because they cannot unequivocally say that the models will correctly predict, because there's so many other factors that complicate it, or what they call foreseeing, that it's very difficult for policy makers to understand, to know what to do is the right thing. Do they cripple the economy in hopes of saving the planet, or do they just let the planet try to heal itself? Or it's just very, very complicated. So there's some technological fixes that are employed and could be employed. For one, the most important thing would be just to increase fuel efficiency. If people could use less fuels, build more insulated dwellings, have better fuel efficiency in all the motors and engines and everything which rely on fossil fuels for their original power source, then we could drastically reduce carbon dioxide without stopping using fossil fuels, just become more efficient. The other thing is this concept of carbon sequestration, where the different countries would, or different industries, whatever, would take carbon dioxide that is being produced, for example, in a power plant, separate it and pump it into holes in the ground, such as old oil wells or deep into the ocean. Or another idea is to plant more trees in areas where there's been clear cutting and deforestation going on. It's just to try to replace those trees so that those trees and those massive green spaces can fix the carbon dioxide. That is, they essentially breathe in the carbon dioxide and it convert it to plant material by the process of photosynthesis. So there's things that we can do, and here's just a quick example of this in action. This is a carbon sequestration plant off the coast of Norway, and because there's this concept of cap and trade, where different countries have already imposed upon their power plants and their businesses that if they're big producers of carbon dioxide, they can only produce so much carbon dioxide per year, and if they do any more, they're going to get taxed. And so that's the cap part. We're going to cap how much carbon dioxide any individual company or power plant can produce. And so what they would have to do then is trade credits with another company or power plant or something like that that has some way of sequestering the carbon dioxide to limit their carbon dioxide emissions. And so here's an example of a carbon sequestration off the coast of Norway, where carbon dioxide is mixed with natural gas, and so sometimes just bringing in natural gas to the surface, you will also bring up carbon dioxide. And so what they do here is they separate the carbon dioxide from the natural gas, and they pump it to this offshore drill, and pump it down to the bottom of the ocean. There's also carbon dioxide produced here in their power plant. They pump it all the way over, also down underground. So this is one way of reducing their carbon dioxide emissions well below their allowed level, so that then other people can pay them to credits for doing that, and then it kind of balances out the overall total carbon dioxide emissions across the world.